Are there any other tools or techniques that you recommend people integrate into their day to day to help raise our vibration?
Yeah. So, okay. So my main things for that are, so yes, Kundalini is great. Also breath work, but like deep breath work, like holotropic breath work, which now there's so many different ways to not have to do it for like 2 hours, but like, connected conscious breathing, right? Like that can kind of also be a way when you're concentrating on the breath to get out of your headspace.
Mm.
And then anything that raises your vibration or frequency, my favorite thing is listening to frequency music
Mm.
and
Same.
binaural beats. Obsessed. I love it so much. And I do that every single night. Like that is what I am doing. Like my husband laughs at me because he puts our daughter to bed. Like that's like he does the night routine. And I go to the bedroom and he's like, "You don't watch TV or anything." I'm like, "I am literally just listening to music because I'm so overstimulated." Like
Same.
I'm not watching anything. I'm just like literally just listening to music, and it's like usually just like vibration. That is the easiest thing. You could do that driving to work. You could do that anywhere, and that is like such an easy thing to do.
Oh, yes, I play it at a consistent hum throughout our
Um,
apartment to help like consistently clear the energy of our space and like before meetings. And there's so many just different types of
yeah.
frequencies that you can listen to. And I love how this is like really connecting to the masses. I'm curious what your routines are right now. I don't want to get like too masculine and too like routine
No,
oriented,
yeah.
but I love hearing about people's morning and evening routines. What are some
Yeah.
rituals that you're loving right now?
Yeah, I mean, listen, my life has basically been hit by a Mack truck, like having a baby. So,
Yeah.
and she sleeps in our room right now because, we're not in the city, but we're still living that like city life, right? We're in an apartment,
Mhm.
she's in our room. So I have to be so intentional about the things that I am doing from a routine basis. So, like, my morning stuff that I do is sometimes I do a coffee enema. I like do
Mm.
like my coffee enemas still sometimes. So sometimes I do those. I always drink chlorophyll in the morning. That
Mm.
like energizes me. I drink matcha. Yes, yes, chlorophyll, chlorophyll. I drink matcha mixed with kava. I'm like really into
Mm.
kava, and kava can slow a lot of people down, but for me, it like gives me energy. So I always do that. And so it's like very like herbal, earth connected morning stuff. And then I will do some Kundalini at some point in the afternoon. Like I kind of will stop like work. I'll work in the morning space and then I'll do some sort of Kundalini activation and breath work. And then at night I'm just like jamming to my my frequency music, and then like watching Bravo and going to bed because it's not like I don't, then indulge myself.
Yeah, 100%. It's not like either or. They can all live like cohesively together. I
Yeah.
love that. So you do coffee enemas daily or like is that
No, not daily, just
okay,
like
okay.
every so often. But that's like one of my like things that I love doing that I feel like is like a self-care thing. I know it's like so controversial, but I love them. I don't know. I
I've
started
actually
doing it.
never Yeah, I've actually never done one, but they've been on my radar and I've heard incredible things honestly from them, but I know they are controversial. Like some people have had negative side effects from them, but I feel like it's a great way to get clear overall.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I mean, clearing your energy, clearing your body is like also like one of those things. I started doing them when I was like deep in my Lyme disease healing. Like,
Right.
whole nother conversation for another time. But like
We'll have
Gerson,
you
I did.
back.
I'll come back and we'll talk about it. But yeah, so I integrate that. I'm very big on like the physical healing, the mind, body, soul healing. So like that's really like I'm focusing on throughout like my day, like, besides being a mom and being a business owner of like all this stuff, it's like I'm always kind of thinking like I'm clearing my body, I'm clearing my
Mhm.
energy.
Yeah, 100%. I think we typically like to tether to some of the more esoteric tools, or at least I do. Like I love the love and light world, and it's very easy to stay in that world with like, the crystal healings and the
Yeah.
Kundalini and my meditation. But it's like we really need to root into our physical body. Like we're here as a human being, not just like a spiritual being. And like sometimes it's all too easy to forget that. So I love how you
Yeah.
highlighted that. And I to dovetail off of that, just one last question because I want
Yeah.
to chat about Nebula Soul, which is
Yeah.
a relatively new business for you, right? When
Mhm.
did you launch it?
I launched it in January,
Oh,
actually.
wow. Oh my
December,
gosh.
January. It's super early. It has actually organically kind of flown into things. So it seems like I've had it for a longer time, but I
Totally.
actually just launched it. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, I feel like we're talking about a lot of techniques and just like your approach to holistic health and just that mind, body, and soul connection. Can you take us through some of the transformational stories, experiences you have seen your clients move through some of your sessions?
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, so I will say, like, I launched Nebula Soul in January because I was like trying to wait for the new year to come basically. But like I have been doing this stuff for a while and I've been working with clients like forever, but it was like I was like, okay, now is the time, like I really want this to like be something new and come out of the closet, so to speak.
Mm,
So, a lot of what I do, I've realized it's I started out really trying to be like, okay, we're going to like heal the physical, right? Like we're going to heal the physical. But then I learned that what I've come here to do essentially is help people to figure out their purpose and live as their higher self. So a lot of the people that come to see me are people who are on that soul led business path, or they're soul
mhm,
led entrepreneurs, or they're spiritual healers who are looking to get clarity or get, creativity. So a lot of times people will come to me and then afterwards, so like I have someone that is trying to figure out like they're a medium and they have these gifts and they're trying to
mm,
figure out what should they do because they are usually living in like the therapy space. They're actually like a therapist who then is like now, like a psychologist who's now learning that they have gifts, right? And like how does that work? So I work with people like that who are getting rid of like pulling out their limited beliefs and their past traumas, like in a past life maybe they had an experience where they weren't allowed to speak or be who they are, and then we kind of like find that in the body and we pull that out, and and then you're doing the kundalini energy to like heal that. So that's kind of what I've been doing so far with my one-on-ones, and it's so powerful because it again gives you whatever you need. So like you're healing all these past things, but then you're also bringing on this clearer version of yourself. I won't say like new version. It is transformative, but it's also evolution. It's a higher version of yourself, but it's revealing who you are, not changing
mm.
who you are.
I love that. We're in this fixing epidemic, and it's really like a remembrance. It's a
Yeah.
returning. It's so much
Yeah.
more gentle than fixing. Like there
Yeah.
is nothing, there is nothing you need to fix about yourself. Absolutely nothing. It's just
Yeah.
returning. It's just
Yeah.
kind of stripping away some of these like societal shoulds and the shoulds that
Mhm.
we put all over ourselves, that we've like created this shell around ourselves. It's really just about cracking that open to remember who you
Yeah.
truly are. I love that. And I feel like the work that
Yes.
you're putting out into the world is so needed. I feel like I want to do a one-on-one with you
Oh
100%.
my God,
And
you have to. We're definitely gonna do it. Like
yes.
we'll plan it. I definitely would love for you to, because it's so fun too to see people, especially people who are connected, to see what happens with them because they always have like those are the people that are like swimming, and I'm like, where
Mm.
are you right now? Like I wish I like, and they'll be like, I was in the cosmos, just
Oh
like
my God.
with the dolphins and like doing crazy stuff, and I'm like,
I love that. What advice, just to close out before we hop into facing forward, what advice would you give for any just aspiring soulpreneur, conscious business owner just starting out?
I think that the best thing that you can do is really get clear on who you authentically are. Because when we're talking about that revealing self, you need to have something to always come back to. You need to have that anchor. And that's the filter that I run everything through that I do. This is who I am. This is my purpose. This is what I believe. And then I can then bring any product or anything through that lens and be like, this is makes sense with who I am, or this doesn't make sense with who I am, because you need that anchor in this world where we are getting rocks and tomatoes thrown at us regularly. Like you need to have that anchor of like, okay, well, I know who I am, so it doesn't matter. And so that's like the big thing, is just get clear on who you are, and anything that's blocking you, then you can say, okay, this doesn't feel like this is me. So how do
Mm.
I remove these pieces that are not a part of that authentic self?
Yeah, 100%. You have to get clear on who you are and what is your why, because from that place, you'll have this like sustainable, boundless power to live and lead from.
Yeah.
And I used to create, I still create. I'm waitlisting consulting clients right now, but I used to create why guides. And that was kind of like the
Yeah.
central component to these brand messaging blueprints. Like everyone would go in and like want their storytelling strategy and their pitches and their scripts, but really I kind of like bait and switch them. I was like, really, we're getting clear on like your personal why, because that is how you are going to create the, amplify your power and really
Right.
create a sustainable business and a successful business, whatever that looks like for you. And so it's like a why guide. I love that. Getting just clear on who you are is incredibly important.